Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Oklahoma City Sports Network. I am your host, the Cowboy Crab, and we are week number 2 into season 36 of this OFL season. And I'm gonna be honest, I was surprised. I was very surprised at the week 1 result. I was not exactly the most confident in the Twisters heading into week number 1, taking on the team that beat us in the Victory Bowl. And we came up with a win. I was shocked. I didn't expect that. I knew it was going to be a good game. It was going to be close. It was going to be some good football. I didn't think we would win, but I knew it was going to be good. But yeah, week 1 win for the Twisters genuinely caught me off guard. I did not think we would win that. But now we look ahead to tonight's matchup against the Saxon Sunbirds, who also sit at 1-0. Both teams got their first wins in week 1, and heading into week 2, they're looking to keep those winning streaks alive. Also, got to fight against other 1-0 teams in their division. But before we get into that, we will talk about we'll talk about the statistics for the week 1 rematch against Atlanta here in Oklahoma City. So we'll start with Atlanta. Finley, 23 for 35, 484 passing yards, 65.7 on the completion percentage, 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. Bojangles Bandit also 0 for 1 on passing on the night. Finley also had 2 rushes for 9 yards. At the receiving position, Arby's Annihilator, 6 receptions, 136 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Bojangles Bandit, 4 receptions, 91 receiving yards. Lillard, 8 receptions, 157 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Subway Suffocator, 2 receptions, 17 receiving yards. Jake Santana, 2 receptions, 10 receiving yards. And Baddest Boy Brian, 1 reception, 73 receiving yards, and a touchdown. At center, Reb, out of his 10 drives, led up 2 sacks. Subway Suffocator also on defense having a sack. Lillard having an interception, and Arby's Annihilator having an interception. And for miscellaneous stuff, Bojangles Bandit having a grounding safety from the Hail Mary pass, if I remember correctly. And Finley also with a grounding safety. So that's the stats for Atlanta. And yeah, 2 grounding safeties from the Phoenix offense, which is something I don't think I've ever seen ever in any football league I've ever been a part of. Moving on to Oklahoma City. We will start with our new franchise quarterback, Kelvin. 25 for 34, 505 passing yards, 73.5 completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Kelvin also 15 rushes for 126 rushing yards. At the receiving core, Dusta, 3 receptions, 34 receiving yards. Mangsta, 7 receptions, 168 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Jet, 7 receptions, 91 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Bandplay, 2 receptions, 48 receiving yards. Hangch, I think that's how you say that name, 4 receptions, 106 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. And Obsta, 2 receptions for 58 yards. Center-wise, Zevion, I think that's how you say that. Out of his 11 drives, he only let up a sack. And defense, Dusta with a sack and Kelvin with a safety. So 3 safeties overall on the game. And nothing miscellaneous-wise. And it appears there are no kicking stats. So, yeah, that's kind of how the game went. Atlanta, they took the loss. That's all I can really say. I'm shocked they lost. So, now we should look ahead to week number 2. We'll start with where the Twisters currently sit in the division rankings. As of right now, they are tied for first in the Plains division based off record. Taking all statistics in mind, they sit third in the Plains division behind the Aztecs and the Vikings. They sit above the Toros and Bruisers, who, just like last season, are starting 0-1. And as for our opponent, the Saxon Sunbirds, out of the Pacific Division, they are also 1-0, sit second in their division, tied for first if you just count the record. They are behind the Rams and sit above the Spartans, Raiders, and Warriors. So tonight's an important matchup for both these teams, trying to get division superiority and overall conference superiority. In regards to the last week's opponent, Atlanta, they sit 0-1 right now, currently at the bottom of the Gulf Division. That probably will change if I had to guess, considering Miami and Florida play tonight, and the Panthers are 0-2 right now. So if I had to guess, Atlanta would move up somewhere in the middle. But enough about that. Let's get back to the Twisters for tonight's matchup. So, my thoughts from last week is that the receiving core is way better than I thought it was. That is something I will admit. It is way better than I thought. I thought it was going to be middle tier. Like, we'd have somebody who'd be the star, and everybody else would kind of be like, he would be like a guy that he makes a play or two here. Outside of that, he doesn't really do much. But no, similar to Bailey, Kelvin just gets the ball all around and gets into a whole bunch of weapons. And honestly, I didn't expect that. I was really expecting one guy to kind of do most of the work and have everybody else just kind of be there, because there's no really giant names. But I was proven wrong, I'll say that. The receiving core is just about a level on par, skill-wise, based off that Week 1 matchup, as last season's conference champion Twisters team. And that's without the three big names of Carabine, Samuel, and Sparkled. So I'll give Twisters credit where credit is due. That receiving core is by far better than I thought. However, one thing remains from season 35, and that defense is untrustworthy. The defense once again is the side of the ball I'm not confident in. It seemed we let up a lot of big passes, lots of big plays. We got 3 safeties. We made big plays on defense, but it seemed we'd also give some up back to them. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for it. But do we get the job done against the Sunbirds tonight? I think we do. I think we go 2-0. Again, back-to-back seasons. I think we very much get this win here tonight against the Sunbirds. And we go 2-0, and depending on how the Vikings and Aztecs do, we could take first, we could take second in the Plains Division, we could stay at third if both of them win. Who knows how it goes for those guys. But the only thing of importance tonight is the Twisters get the win. Tonight's game should be streamed by me at, 10:30? Is it 10? 10:30, alright. So, yeah, I think that will be it here. Twisters win. I'm going to say, based off the scores from last week between both teams, I think it's going to be another one-possession game win here for the Twisters. Because Sunbirds, they looked good last week against the Warriors, 59-33 win. Twisters, 54-48 win over Atlanta. So I think it's going to be another one-possession win here for the Twisters. So, yeah, Twisters win by 8 points or less here tonight. And we'll go 2-0 to start season 36. But I think that's all I got left to say here for you folks. Representing the Oklahoma City Sports Network, I am the Cowboy Crab, saying so long, everybody.